This is the 19th day of April on a Wednesday evening at Roseman Elementary School. And these awards are going to be handed out to deserving people tonight. And we're going to get a little closer so we can see what they all are. And here's some red apples. These are for the Teacher of the Year awards. One was chosen for each school. And they all competed at the county level. And the Teacher of the Year for Southern Kern was Stephanie Tanksley.
Reports and communications. This is all informational. Item A, recognitions for Teacher of the Year. This is Superintendent Gaines. You have the floor.
Thank you, President Tanksley. Teacher of the Year. Good evening. Behind every successful person is a great teacher. Tonight, Board, you have the distinct pleasure of recognizing 5 of our outstanding teachers and to say thank you for their commitment to high-quality instruction. Each site selected one candidate to represent them and to compete for the District Teacher of the Year and the Kern County Teacher of the Year. All 5 of these candidates are extraordinary. They inspire their students to learn by being role models for them inside and outside of the classroom. They gain the respect of their students by treating students fairly, always making sure that their physical and emotional needs are being met. They are all so great mentors for their colleagues and are willing to share ideas, experiences, and they often just lend an ear to that colleague in need. They go above and beyond anyone's expectations. Board, please join me in the front to recognize these dedicated and hardworking individuals. I'd like to ask Ms. Jennifer Weinberg to come up. Teacher of the Year, Elementary School. I'd like to ask Ms. Jackie Stephenson to come up. Teacher of the Year. I'd like to ask Mr. Keith Meyer to come up, Teacher of the Year, Quantico Middle School.
Thanks, sir.
Representing West Park, Teacher of the Year, Genevieve Collins. Thank you. Board of Trustees, when the Cabinet received all of the applications for Teacher of the Year, we were faced with some very, very intense competition. We read all the nominations, Leanne, Mrs. Hargis read them, and Cabinet selected one teacher who we felt just had some extraordinary qualifications and stood out a little bit. At this time, I'd like to recognize Southern Kern's Teacher of the Year and also our representative for Kern County's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Stephanie Tanksley. Anybody wants to take pictures? Now would be the best time to do that. Just stay here. At this time, we'd like to recognize our classified employees of the year. When I think back over the past 14 months, the face of many of our classified employees comes to my mind. Their tireless efforts and support got us through the ever-challenging and uncharted waters of COVID-19. But this should not be surprising because this is what they do every single day. This is what they do. They are truly our unsung heroes who support the education of our students from preschool through 12th grade. Tonight, Board, we recognize 5 of our outstanding classified employees and say thank you for their commitment and dedication to Southern Kern Unified School District. Okay, so classified employee from representing Roseman High School, Dena DeCaprio. Classified employee representing Tropical Middle School, Elaine Rigoni. Classified employee representing Roseman Elementary School, Patricia Galindo. Our classified employee representing the Transportation Department, I don't believe he's here this evening. Is he here? Yep. Oh, fantastic. I'm sorry. Congratulations to Reese Lizotte. As with the Teachers of the Year, all of the candidates were brought to Cabinet, and we sort of, excuse me for saying, we discussed each and every one of them, and Cabinet voted, and our selection for Classified Employee of the Year for the district comes from West Park Elementary School, Mr. Shawn Bragg. No, Lord, I'm going to ask you to stay up here. I'm just going to scoot you. I need to go that way. Yes, you guys. We have 4 retirees with us this evening, and I'm almost afraid to say, because I was told that 2 of them may not be here this evening, but we will recognize them just the same. First teacher retiring is Mr. Shawn Bragg. And Mr. Bragg has been a teacher for 17 years, and he has spent the last 5 years with West Park in Southern Kern. So we want to say thank you, Mr. Bragg, for your dedication and all of the work that you put in and all the children's lives that you touched over the past 5 years here in Southern Kern. So this we will make sure Mr. Bragg. I'll come back to that. Our classified retiree, who is not with us this evening, is Miss Doreen Denton. And Doreen has served Southern Kern for 19 years. And so that's a lot of dedication to the students here and a lot of years of service. So Doreen, we want to thank you on behalf of Southern Kern. This time, I'd like to call up a 16-year classified employees who served our district for 16 years. Would Christine Mendez please come on? Christine worked at both Hamilton Elementary, West Park Elementary. Your service and dedication to the students of Southern Kern Unified School District has truly been outstanding. This is your time now. Enjoy and thank you. Our next retiree has been in the district teaching 2nd grade for 34 years. Let's think about that for a minute. Takes us back a few presidents, 34 years. And if my research is correct, taught a combination class of 1st and 2nd grade for 1 year. Okay. Lori Quellman has been a mentor for many teachers in Southern Kern, including for BIDSA. She served as grade level chair, been a teacher of the year. Lori, on behalf of Southern Kern, thank you. Seems so, it just doesn't seem to be enough tonight, but that's all I've got, unfortunately, is to say thank you for such many years of service and for being such an amazing teacher. For your devotion and hard work, you deserve the best retirement ever. Enjoy this new journey of your new life. We will remember you always. Thank you, Lord. Mr. President, I'd like to ask you if we could do a 10-minute recess. We have some cookies in the back, and I also want to invite all of the awardees this evening to get their boxes up here.
Okay.
So,
All right, 10-minute recess.
It's the first time I've ever seen you smile, Jim. That's terrific. Congratulations. Thank you.
We'll come back to order. Student board members, any report, let's have a student board member. No report from student board member. Next up, RTA report, Mr. Quelman.
All right. Good evening. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate all the teachers of the year, although it seems like some of them went home early. I'll talk to Mr. Meyer about that tomorrow. All of them long-time or full-time RTA members, and we very much appreciate their service, their membership in RTA, and everything they've done for our students. I also want to congratulate all of the retiring employees. All of these employees, certificated, classified, give so much to our students, and I really appreciate everything done. Obviously, Mrs. Quelman, 34 years, and just, I've watched over those years how much she's done for our students. A couple of items tonight on the board agenda. Item 9A, personnel. We've got a request for a leave of absence for one of our members of RTA, and I do recommend that for approval by the board with conditions that were discussed between myself and Mrs. Gaines today. So I hope the board will approve that. I mentioned this at our last board meeting. The awards of the RTA Scholarship Fund have been made. We've awarded $5,000 to graduating Roseman High School seniors and seniors of RTA members. The awards range from $500 to $1,500 per student. And we awarded 5 different students with those awards. And I'm not going to say who they are because they'll be awarded at Seniors Award Night. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. I wouldn't be much of a tech guy if I had the worst tech issues at the worst time. But I think we fixed it, so that's good. It's nice to be back in person. I feel like it's been about a year or so since we've done this. But yeah, it's nice to start seeing faces and be able to start coming together again. Big thank you to Barbara and for starting to get classified recognition again. Like I said, it's been about 6-7 years that I've been working here, and I haven't really seen that, if much at all. So it's fantastic to see that, and we really appreciate it. So congratulations to our, classified members of the year. It's fantastic. You all truly deserve it. And I'm getting a lot of people that are thankful for that seamless service stipend. So thank you, Mr. Coleman. Thank you, Barbara and Robert. It's much appreciated. Congrats to our retirees, Doreen Denton and Christine Mendez. Fantastic. And Ms. Quelman and everybody else that's retiring. Such a good job. I mean, 32 years, was it? 34? Yeah. It's hard to imagine. Yeah. Not to age you, but I'm only 33.
You guys can boot him off the stage.
So it's hard to imagine, working that long. But really, truly, thank you for all your service to our students. And I want to give a huge shout out to our Csea Fundraising and Fund Spending Committee, Lori Lytle, Patty Galindo, Kathy Edwards, and Megan Simpson for doing a really cool job with our classified school employees week. So everybody seems to be really happy with the little gifts that they got and getting breakfast for our food service. Providing food for our food service is that was a huge treat for them, because they do so much for us and our community. Giving back to them was wonderful. So that's all I've got for tonight. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here.
CEO Irving. Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone that, knew to me to have an audience of more than just the side of Larry's head. So that's, more faces out there for me. I want to say congrats to everyone who got an award tonight, and a big thank you to all of the retirees for your service and time to the district. On the construction front, we finally got approval from the state for the funding for the 3 classroom buildings here at the RIS campus. So we're looking forward to having construction starting soon. We had a meeting yesterday with the contractors and subcontractors to kind of, get the lay of, they can, so they can see the site again, and so we can figure out what the game plan is with our project management team. So come June 1st, hopefully they are able to start their work so that by the end of 2021 we have 3 more buildings on this campus. Barbara will be presenting the ELL grant template tonight. We've already gotten half of that allocation sent to the district, so the other half will come in August, but we're able to start be ready for summer school by getting with the state allocating that money slightly earlier than the template approval deadline, so that's been a big help. And I think I brought it up at the last meeting, but I don't remember, so I'm going to repeat myself. But for the classified summer assistance program, the state match came in at 88 cents on the dollar. So I wanted to make sure, I'd rather say it twice than not at all. So I want to say thank you to food service for the cookies, for the pastries they did this morning for the classified staff. That much appreciated, and they do a lot of hard work for the district, and want to make sure they're fed. And that is everything.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. Next up, Associate Superintendent Barbara.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say congratulations to all of our teachers of the year and our classified staff of the year. You all are very deserving of for all the me to all of our students and the staff every day, so thank you very much. Congratulations to our classified staff that are retiring. Lots of years, 16 years.
you, Ms. Harris. Next up, Superintendent Ford, Superintendent Gaines.
Thank you, President Tanksley. I would like to welcome everyone this evening. It is truly great to be back and in person and in faces other than the board and just Mr. Quelman and occasionally Gary. Not that there's anything wrong with Mr. Quelman's face, but it is nice to have other people here for a change. I know I'm going to pay for that dearly. I just want to piggyback on what Robert said. We get some outstanding news this week in that our funds to complete the Roseman Elementary project should be deposited in Kern on Tuesday, and construction will begin June 1st. So we're very, very excited to see 3 new buildings going up on this campus. And I want to take this opportunity because the past couple of weeks have been a little bit there's been a little contention there, and we've all been working really, really hard to get this finally in that phase where we're actually saving money. But I want to thank the principal of RES, Santiago. Reese, where are you? Santiago, one night last week was working on a PE plan until, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm not sure. We pushed them. They just asked us for it that day, that afternoon, and he delivered it was and accepted the PE plan at that. So Santiago, thank you for all your help with me in getting this to the point where we actually saw fruition with the funding. So thank you so much. As Mrs. Hargis mentioned, we will be having 2 sessions of summer school. The first one beginning June 7th. To my parents out there, I want to say, please, if you feel that summer school is where your child needs to be, either session 1 or session 2 in July, please contact your site, your school principal or assistant principal, and let them know that you would like your child to attend our summer school program. It will be from 8 to 12, and it's going to have, we're going to have an hour of math and an hour of reading, English, and we're also going to have some fun in there for our students during that morning, 5 days a week. We're going to have art and also some physical education activities, and we're going to do some group activities to support the students and get them back to being with their peers and having some fun throughout their morning. So we're very, very excited of what our summer school program is going to look like. And I want to say it is Classified Employee Appreciation Week, and I want to thank all of our employees this evening who will be honored, all of them, classified teachers, and of course our retirees, outstanding employees who have served this district very well. So thank you again and again. Graduation in high school, Roseman High School, will be June 2nd. We're going to have 2 different graduations. The alphabet will be divided, one at 4 o'clock and one at 7. So if you have a senior graduating this year, you can stand by for additional information from Roseman High School on that. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Superintendent Gaines. Next up, board member communications. First up, Trustee Moore.
Okay, so first I want to say congratulations to all of our Teacher of the Year. I had Mr. Meyer, Ms. Stephenson, and Mrs. Tanksley as teachers, and especially Mrs. Tanksley. I'm still using some of what she taught me last year in my college classes today, so that's a plus. And Ms. Collins and Ms. Weinberg were both teachers of my younger siblings, and I will have to say, just the way they came home, their faces brightened up and the way they smiled and talked about you both, that you guys are good teachers, great teachers, even though I wasn't in the classroom to see it. Thank you to all our classified employees of the year. Believe it or not, classified employees do a lot. They're tired and they go home at the end of the day. And Mrs. Coleman, congratulations. Thank you for 34 years. And I mean, you're half of the teacher Mr. Coleman is, which I'm sure you are. Then you're amazing. So, twice as good. In that sense, you're better. And then, what did you say? It's classified employee appreciation. Appreciation Week. Oh, well, then, a double, thank you to the classified employees of the year, which I think you guys are back there, so thank you. And then, I don't know, that's it, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. President Select,
Thank you, Mr. Tanksley. I want to thank everybody for coming. I hopefully would like to see more and more parents here. Parent involvement in education is key. Nice to see Mr. Joyce finally. Congratulations to all our retirees, as I mentioned to Mrs. Coleman. Just make sure she keeps reminding Jim that he has to get up every morning. If he doesn't, she gets to kick him out of bed. There is one teacher that's here that she had to take this class that I know. Mrs. Stephenson, she's going to be working towards my next generation. My granddaughter's coming up. Is that tropical? I don't know. Did you have Aaron at all?
Yes.
You did? Okay. So she's already had that group coming up. And so we appreciate all the teachers of the year, all the classified. I cannot forget the classified. My wife worked 20 years for the district as a classified employee. Believe me, I know for a fact we cannot do anything without having the classified employees. So kudos, thank you very much. We really appreciate having you take care of our students as well. Other than that, I'll pass it on.
President Select, next up, Trustee Denton.
I too want to thank all the teachers and the staff for all the hard work and those who are retiring. I remember some of my teachers from years ago. I remember my first grade teacher had a big impact on me. You don't understand how big of an impact teachers and staff members and coaches, all that, have on these children. Thank God for you. I really appreciate you. I pray that you have a blessed retirement. Mrs. Quelman, I know your husband, so I know you must be a tremendous wife. Thank you again for all your years. Thank you everybody out there for all their hard work. We went through a heck of a year, and I think we're going to start another year pretty tough too. We'll get through it together. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to get this place full like we had it before when we have our meetings, and because it's really nice to hear from the community. I mean, we sit up here and we do things. I was just thumbing through here. I want to also thank the people that make donations. Often it gets overlooked. It's in our packages. But we've had cars donated in cash and gift coupons. That means so much to the school district and to these students. So thank everybody for all their support. And, I'm looking forward to just having a good year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Denton. Next up, Trustee Gutierrez.
I want to thank all the employees of our district, both classified and the certificated. Everybody does a fantastic job in our district. I've been up here for quite a while, and it's great to see the type of people that work in our district. So I want to thank everybody, and with that,
I gotta switch this up because I'm gonna follow on with this list. So, once again, congratulations everybody that received recognition tonight. Job well done by everyone. Some come back, some go on to bigger and better things. And Jim, it's unfair that everybody's making money tonight, so I'm going to use to do this. Great job next week. Mr. Meza, thank you and your team for hosting us. Well, we put on a great show, and we really appreciate it. And that's about all I have. Next up, comments from the public. Members of the public may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board by submitting presentation requests to the secretary. Members of the public are strongly urged not to mention personnel by name and are reminded that they do not have immunity for legal action in personnel or name. The board may limit each speaker to 3 minutes with a total of 20 minutes per topic. Do we have any in-person requests tonight? Okay. We do have a letter from Mrs. Brian Carr that Mr. Metzler will read.
Thank you, Mr. Tanksley. Says, Dear Superintendent Gaines and SAUSD Board of Directors, I'm writing today to thank you for the support of class of 2021 in the purchase of celebratory yard signs. I am sure you are well aware that one casualty of pandemic closures has been student ability to fundraise. In addition to losing campus activities, they have spent the majority of their senior year learning from the confines of the bedroom. It was discouraging when I found out the cost to purchase personal yard signs. The price was too high for the senior class budget. On a whim, I sent a quote to Elaine, the principal from Roseland, Lizotte, forwarded to further consideration. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that would be a purchase. And so, instead of having to tell students that we would not get personalized yard signs due to the cost, I was able to plan a surprise delivery event to get signs placed in 2 yards over the years. I have hatched many schemes to promote and celebrate students, and somehow I find teachers who want to help. It is a wonderful thing when you find a colleague who is willing to support students in any way they can. I would like to recognize the teachers who volunteered to deliver signs in all parts of Roseland, Mojave, Elkhorn City, Palmdale, and Fresno, so every senior at Roseland High School will get their signs. I am humbled by the generosity of Lila Vasquez, Andrew Hansen, Von Tom Rom, you, Kesley Wheatley, Mark Riley, Charles Wallace, Heather Burgess, Maria Cox, Noel Parker, Rosa Solano, Jared Lewis, Paul Isaac Zimmer, Andrea Jones, and Wayne Carr, who drove the addresses, staked signs into the yards, comprising our students and helping to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2021. I was treated to stories, smiles, and students who could not believe that a teacher would go all the way to my house to bring something to them. I wanted it to be a surprise because unexpected gifts are the best to receive. I would not have done this without the help of my colleagues, the support of our principal, and the funds provided by the district. With humble gratitude, Veronica Carr, English teacher, Roseland High School. I'd like to add, we appreciate everybody's help out there. And I would say, I'm one that if I can do it, I would be glad to help as well. So don't leave some of us board members off.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next item, consent items A through J. Board, this is for action. However, please pull from their item B, which is approved agreement with Twilight Productions monthly for equipment rental over senior sunset event. They did ask for that to be pulled. So could I get a motion for consent A through J minus A?
Got a motion to accept A through J minus H.
Gutierrez, second. Moore? Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up, curriculum and instruction. Item A, Title I performance evaluation presentation. Information award.
So each of our school sites are part of Parental Engagement. They receive Title I funding. So part of the requirements for that funding is we have to evaluate what we spend on it. So that's a requirement that we do every year. And then last week when we had our advisory committee, they did present the same evaluations to that committee. And then they also are now looking at that report.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Title I Effectiveness and Programs for West Park Elementary School. Title I at work, and where do our Title I funds go at West Park? Our Title I funds go to classroom paraeducators. Currently, we have 3 at our site. We use them in TK through first grade. We also have Title I funds also go to iRead, which is an intervention program and that is used basically for all students to get them to where they need to be, helps them with their basic phonetic skills and all of those necessary skills for them to read. System 44 is an intervention program that's used with our struggling students typically in 3rd grade and also is used in some of our RSP classes in SDC. And Read 180 is an intervention program for reading in 4th and 5th grade, and it is also used in some RSP classes and a few SDC classes as well. Our other Title I funds go to Accelerator, IXL, when we get both math and ELA, extra practice for our students in the standards, and then some Title I funds are also used for parental engagement. So for our classroom educators, the way that they are used in our classrooms, like as I said, we have a total of 3 of them currently. 2 work in the TK and kindergarten classrooms, and 1 works in the 1st grade classrooms. They work with lower performing students. In ELA, they typically work with students on sight words, reading fluency, letter recognition and sounds, reading comprehension, and other necessary skills that the teacher sees that they need to work on. Math, the students typically work in small groups or one-on-one with a paraeducator on number recognition, cardinality or the relationship of numbers, math facts, typically because right now they're working in TK and through 1st grade, they only get up to addition and subtraction facts. And the use of paraeducators is seen by our teachers to be extremely effective, as they are able to provide intervention in small groups or one-to-one to those students with the greatest need within the classroom setting. So in our TK through kindergarten, every year we have the teachers keep some basic data. For our ELA benchmark is what they take in kindergarten. They don't take that in TK. But there was an average growth of 38 points. It's a little bit down from last year, but that's a little bit expected with distance learning. The letter sounds in lower and uppercase were about 24 to 26 letters that they improved. There's an average amount of growth in the letters that they were able to learn. Sight words, there was an average of 31 words. And if you speak to the teachers, they are going to definitely let you know that paraeducators are extremely beneficial in our kindergarten classrooms. They make it possible for student intervention, as I stated earlier. Also in 1st grade, our EL benchmark, they take an early literacy test at the beginning of the year. And this year they did take that test again in April. There was an average growth of 70 points. They had, for those students that the paraeducators worked with, there was an average of 35 correct words per minute average growth. And the math benchmark that was taken, they showed 111 points of average growth for those students that were working with the paraeducator. And again, the teachers in 1st grade feel that the paraeducators are crucial to the implementation of interventions in the 1st grade level. So for iRead, which as I stated is a program that works specifically on standards and skills that are necessary for early reading, such as phonemic awareness, blends, all of those different things. There are 3 different levels in iRead. Students typically begin in level A, and they work themselves through level C. And as you'll notice at the graph, at the top part one, you see more of the kindergarten students in level A, and as they get to 2nd grade, they kind of progress over to level C. So there's more students in level B and level C. That should be what's happening. As they get older and are working at iRead through the kindergarten 1st and 2nd grade and also working on their skills within the classroom reading program, they should be moving towards that. This year, the number of daily minutes and sessions, again, was a little bit down considering we were in distance learning. However, there was an average daily use of 26 minutes in kindergarten, 29 minutes in 1st grade, and 27 minutes in 2nd grade. For students in kindergarten, the total sessions per student for the year were about 406 on average. 1st grade, 217, and 2nd grade was 492. In kindergarten, it says the average daily use was 1.5 days. 1st grade was 1 day of use, and in 2nd grade, average per student was about 2 days of use. Down at the bottom, it kind of breaks down the level A, the level B, the level C. It spreads it out a little bit more so you can see more specifically what series that the students are in. and the spread that they are in throughout the grades. When looking at the data, there was a correlation between the amount of time used and number of sessions per class to the increase in scores on the reading benchmark assessment. The students in the classes that regularly use iRead typically have a higher benchmark score. iRead, over the years, it has definitely shown at West Park to be an effective program and a good use of Title I funding. For System 44 and Read 180 this year, it wasn't used the way that we normally would use it, and it really couldn't be used. As typically, in a normal year, we do it what we call our universal access time of the day, which is typically 30 to 60 minutes a day of intervention or work at their specific level. So students are grouped by their ability level into different classrooms. Some work on their EL skills, some are put into System 44 in the 3rd grade, so we have 2 classes that typically do System 44 for intervention for those lower performing students that need that extra assistance in reading. This year, we, with distance learning and in-person instruction and the limitation of not being able to do cohort movement, we were not able to do our universal access time, so it really limited our use of both System 44 and Read 180. Read 180 is now done just as System 44. It's 2 classes in both 4th and 5th grade, 1 RSP teacher and 2 SDC. Both RSP teacher and the 2 SDC teachers, depending on where their students are, they may use System 44, they may use Read 180 for their students. In the past, System 44 and Read 180 are intervention programs that have shown huge growth for our students. It has been proven at West Park to be extremely effective and a very good use of our Title I funding. I think I turned it off. Wrong button. Okay, accelerated reader. There was a drop in the total amount of points earned in some grade levels by about 2/3. Typically in a normal year at the all grade levels, we are at about 16,000 points earned for the school. This year we're about 6,000. So I will tell you though that the average percent correct is a little bit higher this year. So those students that were taking the test were taking the time and doing really well when taking the test. So that is good. Due with distance learning, it was a little bit more difficult to get students to remember to take their to read accelerated reader books and to take those books. The access to the books alone was a little bit had a little bit of a limitation for them. But accelerated reader is definitely an effective reading tool for our students. It really does help us keep an eye on reading level as well as reading comprehension. So it is definitely a good use of funding. For parental engagement, this list is typically like 2 slides long for West Park. This year it's a little short. Most everything that we did was virtual. So we had our back to school night, but it was virtual. We did have about 750 parents approximately engaged in that. Parent conference also were virtual, and we did have a really good showing as well. Our Title I Parent Night was held also virtually, and we had about 28 parents that attended that, so that was a good number. We had about 10 to 15 people that regular parents and staff members that regularly attend our PTA meetings, and we have about 6 to 8 of those every year. School site council, I have a fabulous school site council this year. They've been a joy to work with, and we meet once a month, and it's been about 8 to 10 of them on average as well. And our kindergarten teacher did do a virtual meet and greet before the school year started, and we had about 75 parents approximately. And I have been doing our Wildcat chats once a month, and some months we've had quite a few parents, and some months we have not had very many. The most that we had, I think, was about 25. So it kind of went in between 4 and 25, depending on what was happening, probably at home. All the parents are invited. It's just whoever shows up on the Wildcat chat, they can come on. That's actually the format that we use for our Title I parent night, so we actually did have 28 one time. We also talked about in our Wildcat chats once the discipline matrix, upcoming things to expect with coming back in person, all of those different things. And some of those things are of very high interest to parents, and I think the more the high interest, the more parents did listen. Our parent outreach at West Park, we do our monthly Wildcat Scoop, which is our newsletter. It goes out once a month. As you can see, I just have left the numbers up there for the last couple of years, and you can see that it's increased. Annually, the number of people that are opening it up and looking at it every month. So we went from, in 2018-19, from 468 average people opening up our Wildcat Scoop newsletter to 551. I think that they're finding it very useful and enjoy looking at the different activities and things that are happening at school. And it's a great resource for them to know what is coming up and what is happening. So more people are looking at that. Our website, I do typically normally keep that up at least once a month, right at the very beginning. And if I need to add something, I will add that as needed as well. When I first came to West Park, the average was about 34 visits a month to the website. That was in 2017 and 2018 when I came back. And now, last year was our highest time from 2019 to 2020. We had 585 visits a month on average. So some months are actually higher than that, and some are a little bit less. It just depends. This year we're at 401. We had a total of 4,619 visits this year, and a total pages viewed of 8,069. So parents are realizing that we're keeping that website up to date, and they definitely are. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? I did not know what I did. I pushed something, Sally. Okay. Is the battery dead? Okay, we do our Blackboard messages quite frequently, and then I am really bad, I'll admit it, at doing the Twitter. It's not my thing. Patrick hasn't been doing it, and Ed was the one that did it for me when he was there, so I need to get Patrick to do a better job of that for me. So, but overall, we do try to keep our parents communicate as much as possible. Thank you so much for your time. Does anybody have any questions before I take?
Any questions?
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Good evening, Mrs. Gaines, Board of Education, cabinet members, my fellow admin team, especially all the recipients as well too, on your retirements and your nominations for your schools as recipients, well deserved. Also for our RES crew that was here tonight to set up the tables, to take care of all the social distance stuff. Mr. Tanksley, thank you for the shout out for our team here. It's not done alone. This is a family here and we take care of each other. We do what we need to do kind of thing. So thank you all for being here. So tonight I'm presenting on our Title I for Roseman Elementary. And I almost forgot my clicker, Miss Lacey. The first thing that we're going to go through is our iRead skills mastery. The grades that is implemented is in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we had participants in kindergarten through the COVID social distancing, 74 students. We had first graders, total of 49, and second grade, 54. And what iRead does is it focuses on your foundational support, and the system adapts to the students as they go through. So if the student is struggling, it adapts to their skill levels, and if the student is advancing, it advances with them. The learning to read skills for level 1 are beginning skills. Level B is developing skills, and level C is emerging skills. And then the reading and writing skills, there's a correlation with iRead that helps them transition from first to second grade. So if you look at the chart on kindergarten there, it has 13 of the students that know their upper 30%, or 18%, have the uppercase letter recognition, which is important. Moving on to the lowercase as well too, so they start focusing on the CBC words as they go through. First grade, again, having COVID and having kids at home trying to do iRead with parents, is a struggle, but having them back on campus is going to help moving forward. And as you go down to B, the skill level, you start noticing that they start implementing the recognition and the sounds into CBC words, and we don't have anybody right now in the C, which is the short vowels, sounds and stuff like that, so slowly progressing through those areas. And so for our next steps for 21-22 school year is having our students back on campus and making sure that we weekly student check-ins with our kiddos, and then again, like Ms. Lacey said, our universal access time with our students, really important that we help them move forward in that direction. Like Ms. Lacey was saying, Systems 44 and Read 180 has been a great program and programs to support our students that need intervention. And so the grades implemented are 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, which we have 2 RSP classes also participating in that. And then so the sessions include whole group instruction, small group instruction, and independent learning instruction. The whole group and the small group are really hard to do because they're on distance learning. Those are more a small group instruction with the teacher leading those, especially with the small group. So the independent learning instruction was self-driven by with the program with the Chromebooks. And so we actually have some data for our kiddos that did the Systems 44 Read 180. We actually had 100 students participating. We had 1 student in the advanced range, 10 students proficient, 26 were in the basic, and 63 in the below basic. It might seem like a lot in the below basic, but with the COVID, being on distance learning, having 100 kids participating, even through distance learning, was amazing to see. And so for our next steps for 21-22 school year is, again, to have our student on campus, having weekly check-ins with them, and again, applying that universal access time, which is really important to focus on their skill sets. Paraeducators, like Ms. Lacey was saying, we have 3 at our site as well too. We dedicate 2 to the kindergarten cohort, and then the first grade has 1. Our little ones in kindergarten, that's their foundational, along with TK, where they're going to really take off into the rest of the schooling kind of thing. So, and small groups, they did a lot of Zooming this year with our kiddos, along with our teachers. Also in person, now that they're back. And so they gave one-on-one support with students who were lower performing on Zoom. And now in person are also helping to support. And they support ELA and math skills. The ELA is, like Ms. Lacey was saying, letters and sound recognition, sight words, reading fluency, and reading comprehension. And then with the math, number relationships and recognition, and then math facts like addition and subtraction. Our awesome Megan Simpson is actually here tonight. This form was created by her, and we distributed it out to our paraeducators, not just for our Title Is, for all our paraeducators for the after-school program and anybody that was on distance learning at the time, when everybody was able to stay home and help support our kiddos. And so this form here was adapted to our paraeducators on distance learning, so it was a log they had to keep every single day on all the students that they worked with. And so they logged in the activities that they worked with the students with, and all the login that they had here, the teachers were able to see, so that way they can work together on transferring information on what was working with the paraeducators, and then the teachers could see how they were delivering instruction for those kiddos. So specific student information, the sessions were about 30 to 45 minutes, working with 5 kindergarten teachers. We had 2 paras, and we had 6 teachers, which first grade with fifth grade, and had 1 paraeducator. And their daily average of minutes that they were spending with students supporting at the minimum was 180 minutes. And the groups ranged anywhere from 1 to 5 students per group. So this was very handy to have for our educators, so they can look back and see what students they worked with, what activities they were doing, and the teachers could also see where they were at and stuff like that with the students. So again, thank you, Megan, for creating this. This was amazing use for that log. Also, with our parent engagement and outreach, a lot of this, if not all of it, was virtual. Our TK kindergarten meet and greet took place virtually. Back to school night was virtual. That has never been done before, so that was quite interesting. Getting parents to Zoom in with their teachers and teachers doing presentations on Google Slides and all that fun stuff, and trying to figure out the technical glitches and participation and getting that going. It was a really great learning experience, I think, for everybody at that point. At the end of the night, there were some successes there that we could all benefit from and use moving forward and stuff like that. So, parent-teacher conferences, again, were virtual as well too. And it was amazing that we could apply even translators through those Zoom meetings for teacher, parent-teacher conferences, and they can Zoom in together and translate and all that fun stuff. So it was like being on campus, not on campus, and taking care of each other. So we also, Title I Information Night was virtual on Student of the Month. We're still doing that virtually. So every month, our students get nominated for character traits, and they all Zoom in at 8 o'clock, and by 8:30 we're done. We read all the kids' names and what they are getting the Student of the Month award for. And what's great about this as well too is we have parents that are full-time workers that don't have to take off of work and have the Zoom links. That could be at work. We had nurses, we had construction workers participating in these Zoom meetings with their kids, not having to take off of work, and could be there to celebrate with their kids. So regardless of the COVID being on social distancing and distance learning, there have been some great benefits on what we can do moving forward to benefit parent engagement and stuff. So quarterly awards as well too. We're doing those virtually. PTA meetings virtually. School site council again virtually as well too. Our English language advisory committee virtually. Parent volunteers, none at this time. It's hard to Zoom with parent volunteers to help with classroom stuff or supporting kind of things. So that hasn't taken place. And then PTA sponsored events, those were all hands-on, like craft night and stuff like that. So that will hopefully be back in place next year. Outreach opportunities, Rockin' newsletter that we have, and information that goes out. Rockin' Robin's website as well too. Blackboard Connect, I don't think I've ever used it this much in 1 year than I have in the past. And so we can get really familiar with what you send out and all the wording and stuff like that. So I think especially in 1 week, I think we sent out like 10 Blackboard messages. So you get really good at doing some of this stuff. So it's been working great to connect with parents also with like summer school and stuff like that. We also have an RES Twitter account that we use probably daily on that. Instagram as well too. Whatever we duplicate on Twitter, we duplicate on Instagram. I'm not a Facebook person, so I don't do Facebook, but maybe we can assign someone on our staff that could help with that. Also, we have an RES YouTube channel that we post. We haven't posted in a little while, but we post our videos that we have before we're communicating with our kids and our staff regarding that. So that is it for us. So thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns?
Board, any questions for you?
No, I was just gonna say, I love Blackboard too. I would send messages from this activity from ASB. And the first time I ever did it, it was like my mom answered the phone. It's like, holy crap, how am I calling? Oh, okay. But I love it. But I think even after COVID, and we're not on distance learning full time, our administrators probably should take into consideration, just because we're back in school, so let's try to send Blackboard messages and all those messages on, not every week, not every day, but every couple weeks, just let the parents know that you're giving them information still. Some of them don't like to read, like Bob says, they just see an email and they trash it, they hear your phone call, they might listen to the voicemail later on. I mean, I get all of them and I listen to them, so.
Just to our elementary schools, I just want to say we really need to stay on top of it when we get back to school with these children. We've exceeded 63 out of 100 is the lowest standing there. And some of that reading and spelling and math is, we've got to get them kids up the bar on that, because if not, they're going to fail when they get to the middle school and high school. You guys set the foundation, and you really got to make sure that we work hard to get that foundation set.
yeah, we have amazing teachers and staff members at both sites that are willing and ready to go come August.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you.
Superintendent Gaines, Board, good evening. Dr. Coleman from TMS. First of all, congratulations to all the awardees. It's quite an accomplishment, and I'm very happy to be here. So what is opportunity at TMS? So students who are credit deficient are able to earn back their credits by completing work online through the Acellus program. A full-time credential teacher is assigned to administer the Acellus program for all subjects to students in full-time opportunity and credit retrieval. Students are taught how to take notes, plan and meet goals, and understand material so that they can be successful and promote to high school. So this is an Acellus overview. So Acellus is designed as an online guided independent study program that can be used for credit recovery within a blended learning model. Classes are customized to allow students to work at their own pace and receive targeted support for the program as well as from the interaction with the actual teacher. So lessons consist primarily of a variety of instructional videos followed by multiple choice response questions, quizzes, unit reviews, and unit exams with immediate feedback. So these assignments must be passed with 60% or higher before the student can be moved on. Students are provided with additional help, videos, and resources if they do not reach the minimum score on the first attempt and are able to correct their mistakes. So instruction through the Acellus also includes special lessons, which include more varied activities such as writing assignments, labs, debates, or presentations that involve greater interaction with the material and require direct teacher feedback. The Acellus parent interface is available for parent guardians to see where their student is when their student is logging on, as well as to monitor their child's progress and concept mastery. So what does an opportunity cost look like? So students creating goals to earn back their credits, students studying material that is given to them, they're learning how to take notes so that they have a reference to look at, they're practicing concepts, completing assignments, and taking reviews, tests, or finals. A teacher is available for support, a tutor to clarify and assist the students with different methods and techniques that will best fit their needs of understanding. So 2021 data. There are currently 54 students in Opportunity Intervention Program who are assigned to one or more credit recovery classes. 14.8% of the students in the program are on the track to fully recover all missing credits before the end of the current semester. 22.2% of students are considered close to being on track and may be able to recover most or all of their missing credits by the end of this current school year. 62.9% of students are not on track and will require more time to recover their credits. Among those that are not on track, almost all have made at least some progress. If these students are still in the Intervention Opportunity Program next year, their progress will not be lost and they will be able to pick up where they left off with the Acellus program. And among those in Opportunity, students began the year with an average deficit of 30 to 40 credits. Among those in Intervention, students enter the program with an average deficit of between 15 and 20 credits. So our goal from last year was achieved when we switched from the Acellus program, the A+ program to the Acellus program. Acellus is much more reliable and is aligned with all core subject standards. Opportunity students have been affected, very similar to the rest of TMS students in this year of distance learning. Core costs, Fs have increased dramatically for students. Next year, we'll provide more reliable data. On average, students with fewer than 20 credits seem more likely to be consistent with the program and get on track. If students are placed in intervention as soon as they become credit deficient, this may help to improve their number of students who get on track quickly and increase the overall success of the program. So general education para-educators. So this is the first year since 2014-15 that general education para-educators have been at TMS. The general ed paras to provide support to any student in any classroom the para-educators are assigned. During this COVID period with distance learning and adjusted schedules, our general ed para-educators assist students in the following ways. They offer tutoring through Zoom during office hours, offer in-person tutoring sessions during office hour times and regular class times, and our general education paras will have an expanded role with all students in the return of 21. So our parent involvement opportunities, we had back to school, we had approximately 500. Our parent conferences, we had approximately 1,200. We had middle school success series, we have between 4 and 10 for an event. Our new student orientation, we had approximately 400. Our Title I parent night, approximately 30. Family movie night was canceled due to the closure. We're looking forward to it this coming year. Tms Athletics, we have 5 sports, and between 50 and 200 compete. And the TMS band, flag, and choir. A little over 200 for the night of performances. Our school site council meetings, we have between 8 and 10. And our English language advisory, we have between 5 and 10. Is there any questions?
Any questions, Council?
Thank you.
Thank you. General, Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant. This is a presentation. Superintendent Gaines, the floor is yours.
Well, good evening. Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant is basically a product of Assembly Bill 86, which is the COVID relief package. Under Assembly Bill 86, there are 2 grants that provide money for extended learning opportunities for our students, to address the social, emotional, and health needs of our students, and also to address the child nutrition, providing healthy meals and snacks for our students. So this is the expanded learning opportunity. This is just a brief summary of the actual grant. The grant will be placed on the website tomorrow. It's a little bit lengthy, a little bit in-depth for anyone who would like to read the grant. I'm just going to give you a summary of the highlights of the grant. What I find ironic about the Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant is it talks about addressing the needs of the whole child. And if you look at the Southern Kern vision statement, what does the first sentence of the vision statement say? We seek to teach and assist in the development of the whole child. So already our vision statement aligns to the desire and the demand of the Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant. So I wanted to put that in there because I think that we're off to a great start having this as our vision. As I mentioned, the focus of the Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant, and these divisions are quite equitable. It's not, there's no greater emphasis placed on providing after-school programs and summer schools more than addressing any regression that we may have seen in our students due to social-emotional needs that they've suffered by being in distance learning. And it also talks equitably about how we will better provide snacks and meals for our students. So I love the fact that the breakdown is really makes us focus equitably on all 3 divisions of this grant. One of the areas that we had to cover in the grant is how were parents, teachers, and staff involved in the writing of this grant. So some of the ways that I had a chance to meet every other week with the LCAP committee. I received some wonderful suggestions from the teachers and staff members who who were part of that committee. I met with CSEA, I met with RTA, Child Nutrition Department. I met with our mental health therapist and our school psychologist, the Director of Special Education, who also provided me some wonderful insights of how we would meet the social emotional needs of our students in moving forward, not only in summer school, but throughout the 21-22 school year and beyond. Met with school site councils, with cabinet. We talked about the expanded learning opportunity grant and leadership, and we sent out surveys to parents, teachers, and staff to get responses on a variety of questions that would help us come to a conclusion in writing this grant. Some of the key data that we received from the parents, parents were probably asked about 12, 14 questions, but some of the key data that I found really, really interesting, and again, out of our parents, we had 436 responses at the point in time where we wrote the grant. 71.5% of our parents felt their child experienced learning loss to some degree in reading and writing. 76% felt their child experienced learning loss in math. 48% felt their children socially and or emotionally regressed during the distance learning experience of the whole year. So that was data taken from the parent survey. I found that very interesting. Not so much the math, the expectation across the nation is that COVID-19 students did perhaps suffer some setbacks with math, but I was surprised that they felt that reading and writing also, especially reading, their students had suffered so much. And this could be attributed to multiple reasons. Their children not zooming in on a daily basis is probably one of the biggest factors here. The teachers also completed a survey, and we had 104 responses from our teachers out of 170 teachers, which I thought was a very good number. 62% of the teachers stated that the students suffered significant learning loss in reading. 84% of the teachers felt that they saw learning loss in writing. One of the things I would love to do moving forward in Southern Kern is I think it's critical that we get a writing program that starts at our elementary and works through our middle grades and on through high school. And there are writing programs out there that we can certainly look into. Because we're finding that 75% of 8th graders and seniors cannot really write a 5-paragraph essay. So that is, we're talking seniors about to head into college. That is really, really a significant number there. 50% of the teachers stated that their students suffered significant learning loss in math. 55 stated learning loss in science and social studies. I'm surprised that those numbers are not higher, because it was hard to teach science and social studies during the distance learning day. So I know that we will have, when we return to in-person instruction, social studies and science, especially at the elementary, will be on those master schedules and will be addressed at least a couple of times a week. 35% of the teachers stated that they would be interested in teaching summer school. Yes, yay. 3 of the teachers who responded, and I think we currently have around 25 teachers who have signed up to teach summer school, so that's a great number. Staff survey, the staff was asked various questions about also how they felt we could better improve the social emotional aspect of our students, and also child nutrition, and just different things. Were they willing to work during summer and after school in 21-22? And so 62% of the staff would consider working summer school, which is great. 50% of the staff would consider after-school academies next year. We will be running, picking back up with the after-school math academy and also starting the reading academy when we return in August. 50% of the staff would consider working on an occasional Saturday. I'd like to possibly consider having one Saturday a month where the student who attends that Saturday could also make up a missed attendance one day. So we're looking at that, and also would be 4-hour day, not just drill and kill in math and reading, but also providing some enrichment activities for our students to sort of motivate them to want to be there on a Saturday. And staff mentors, members made the following suggestions to assist with children's social emotional concerns. They said basically, let's open schools completely. If we open the schools up, we will be addressing their children's social emotional needs at this time, and have support groups for the kids, which is one of the things that we talked about with the mental health therapist and our school psychologist and our director of special education, Cheryl. We are planning how we will address those and create those support groups without really letting the kids know that this is what we're doing, but sort of to bring them back and acclimate them with their peers. And more counseling. Difficult to do counsel with the situation that we have right now with distance learning. So some of the assessments we'll be giving this spring, or we're already giving them in the process, are STAR Early Literacy, which is a K-3 test that assesses phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, and comprehension, to mention a few. STAR Reading is another assessment for grades 4 through 12, and it assesses reading skills, vocabulary, and the comprehension of the students. STAR Math is grades 1 through 12, and it's computer adaptive. That's a great thing about the STAR Math, and it assesses math levels of students. We also have, you've heard this evening, the site administrators talk about Systems 44 and Read 180. These are research-based intervention programs, and they're intensive intervention. They're wonderful for multi-tiered systems of support, and they address literacy and language problem areas. And STAR Early Literacy, STAR Reading and Math are currently being given in lieu of the CASP, which I mentioned. We will have this spring assessment, and then for some of the students that will attend summer school, we will also have an opportunity to revisit in summer school some of the standards, those essential standards that these students may have missed during their current grade level now. And so when we come back in the fall, we will reassess these students, and the new assessment in 21-22 will be used as our baseline assessment to see, so at the halfway mark of the year and at the end of 21-22, we can also establish the growth, the progress made by our students using these assessments and intervention programs. Supplemental instruction and support. Once we have the STAR tests given, then our site administrators will be able to, and it will be probably an unfortunate thing, we probably won't have enough teachers available and staff available during the summer to meet the needs of all of the students who may want to attend. But the great thing is we have 2 sessions of summer school planned, one in June and one in July. So the students who perhaps get to attend in June will have other students who will be able to attend summer session in July. So the outcome of these STAR tests will provide information for our site administrators, so they will be able to look at which of our students are in the most dire need of additional support. And so that's how this first session of summer school will be established. Students will be invited based on teacher input, based on grades, and based on the results of the STAR test. Students identified for targeted instruction will be invited to summer school. It's just that simple. We will give parents a short amount of time to inform us if their child will be attending, because we know some parents probably have some plans for the summer. Maybe they can't attend June, but will be able to attend in July. Priority registration will be for low income, English learners, our foster and homeless students, and our students with special needs. These students will get priority registration for summer school. 4-hour summer school will be from 8 to 12. Curriculum used during summer school will be Standards Plus for reading and math. And this is a great curriculum. It will address the standards of the current grade level of the student, as I said. But we also want to have some opportunities for the student during that 4-hour period to have some fun activities, do some art, maybe do some PE activities. So that will also be built into that 4-hour day. And our para-educators who, we've invited all of our para-educators to please consider working during the summer school programs. And we will have them working with small groups, individual students, working on ELD strategies and math strategies as needed. Students will receive breakfast at all sites upon arrival. They will get a nutrition break at 10, and then they will walk out the door at 12 with a lunch and dinner for the rest of the day. Remember, one of the 3 components of the expanded learning grant is also the child nutrition program. And I have to say that since the onset of COVID, March a year ago, the first group of employees who really hit the ground running for us was our child nutrition department. They have not missed a beat, and they have been serving 3 meals a day at various spots, delivering food. I can't say enough about them. So, but we have to continue. So we're looking for ways that we can even improve this program. And one of the things that we suggested is maybe we do a community, have a community food bank, possibly here on this East Campus for the community, and increase the number of fruits and vegetables that our students get. So 1 hour of math, 1 hour of reading, art or PE, and also about a 45-minute period where our mental health therapists and our school psychologists will be coming in throughout the week to do some guided activities and some games with our students to sort of, reconnect them, I guess is a great way to say it, with their peers. How will parents and guardians be informed about upcoming summer school and our expanded learning programs after school in the fall? Site leaders will communicate to parents through Blackboard. Messages will be sent home by phone and email in English and in Spanish. Monthly newsletters, our principals do a great job on their monthly newsletters. District website, homepage in the announcements section and on the master calendar. Facebook and Twitter. Superintendent communicates with using constant contact. It's an email communication platform. And site leaders and district administrators, we may call home if we really feel that there are some children out there that we need to have in summer school. Any questions regarding the extended learning opportunity grant?
Questions, board?
Thank you. Thank you.
Item B is to adopt the expanded learning opportunity grant. The board is due for action. Superintendent Gaines, this is extended by Superintendent Barbara.
Motion made by Gutierrez, second by.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Item C, adopt extracurricular and co-curricular student activities contract agreement. Effective upon board approval. This is for action. Superintendent Gaines for 4 years.
Yes, President Tanksley. Basically, this contract was brought back to the board for consideration and approval this time. And attached to it is clarification or an information sheet on what is a good citizen, what are the requirements of a good citizen in Southern Kern. So this is for your discussion and vote.
You still have one year?
No, there was not a hire this year.
Okay. In your past experience, this particular contract agreement only states RHS, college campus. Is there a need for a Galindo similar contract where for one semester students can do a waiver for grades in your experience?
We've always followed the policy of Rosewood High School, but I haven't read the document, so I can't really comment specifically. But at Tropical, we were focused on quarter grades and behavior towards being eligible for athletics and extracurricular and co-curricular activities.
Okay.
It was not just semester grades.
Thanks. Mr. President, when we get drafted this up, was this intended for Tropical as well? Everyone stays RHS.
It's also, we intended to
Yes. Any other questions, Board?
What move that we accept?
Yeah. Motion, second? I'll second. Materials, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One. 4-1. So we'll get it out for item 9, personnel items. Group 5 list of personnel items. This is for action board. And the superintendent for 4 years.
Yes, sir. Basically, pretty self-explanatory. We do have the one employee that Mr. Quelman mentioned to us on this certificated administrator list. So,
We will accept that with the stipulations.
yes, sir. These stipulations provided to you.
Second? More? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And item 10, this is adjournment. This is for action.
I will move we adjourn.
Ms. Bragg, second by Tanksley. All those in favor? Aye.